Y esto no para, mi amigo, porque el comité de Careta Radio sigue adelante, para arriba, para abajo, para un lado, para el otro, porque en el espacio no hay norte ni sur, ni este ni oeste. Y así seguimos marchando, amigos y amigas, con esta tercera parte de Esto la Fábrica. 3 cosas hoy, sí, 3. Ya entrevistamos una, ya entrevistamos 2. Y ahora nos vamos para Reino Unido, amigos y amigas, para hablar con los amigos de DAMMIT RECORDS. Ellos son un sello discográfico. Y en esta movida que tenemos siempre en este hermoso programa de hablar de la industria de la música y de todos los cambios que han tenido en esta cosa que antes siempre decimos, ¿no? Que hace un puñadito de años nada más hacía falta containers, hacía falta aviones, hacía falta cosas que muevan cosas para que a vos te llegue Dookie de Green Day y te pegues una cabeceada en tu casa escuchando Basket Case, recontra re feliz. Tenían que pasar un montón de cosas, y en estos puñaditos de años que han pasado nada más, si uno piensa desde que arrancó todo esto del comercio hasta el día de la fecha, hablar de 2 décadas es nada, 3 décadas es nada, en un pellizquito de años nada más todo ha cambiado. Y para hablar de todos esos cambios nos hemos nutrido siempre de diferentes diálogos. Hemos hablado con productores musicales, hemos hablado con organizadores de festivales y con músicos, muchos músicos, como fue el caso del día de hoy, que tuvimos a 2 excelentes bandas. Primero nos fuimos para Nueva York para hablar con los amigos de Strange Neighbor, que la pasamos bárbaro con ellos, y acabamos recién nomás de hablar con los amigos de Illusion of Change desde Ucrania, una nota que estuvo realmente espectacular. Hemos paseado por un montón de lados y obviamente te invitamos a escucharla, y como si esto fuese poco, como si nos quedáramos, digamos, no, la verdad que el programa de hoy todavía le falta algo. Nos vamos para Reino Unido para hablar con los amigos de DAMMIT RECORDS, que es un sello discográfico. Recién escuchamos Britney Diary, que es una banda, ¿digo bien, Raúl?
Sí, perfecto.
Y escuchábamos la canción Monday Morning, que yo no sabía bien si Monday Morning era el nombre de la banda o no. Pero recién escuchamos, hermosa canción, qué pedazo de baterista, por favor, entrevistemos a los Britney Diary. Y quiero hablar con ese batero, que si me entero que hay un IZ Drummer ahí atrás, estamos hablando del mejor operador de IZ Drummer del fucking world, porque lo que sonaba esa batería, my friend, y ni hablar de la guitarra y todo, pues la verdad es un sello de unos amigos punks del Reino Unido, y a eso los estamos buscando. Y vos ya sabés cómo son los punks, vos le mandás el link, le decís, che, a esta hora es, y se cuelgan un poquito, pero el punk, ¿sabés qué? Siempre cumple. Por eso arrancamos esta entrevista en este preciso momento con los amigos de DAMMIT RECORDS. Hi my friend, here is Manu, there is Raulo, are you listening me good?
Hello, hola.
Excelente, hola, excelente. Raulo, mandale vos con tu tipo.
Finally we meet face to face. Yeah. Not in person, but we met.
No, there should be someone else on as well from us, so just waiting for him to join.
So it's okay, okay. No problem. Wow. we really like the I have to tell you, we are live. I'm a big fan of the punk rock scene. You know that the Ramones are really big in Buenos Aires. You know that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They are really big, and I have the chance to meet them and Iggy Pop. And I can't believe that I was on a backstage with Iggy Pop. He's really small, but his eyes are incredible. So I love the punk scene, and we want to talk with you because we think that the UK is really important with the punk scene. So we are going to start with the interview. When you want, we can start. If it's okay now, see?
Yeah, we'll start. My colleague Nick, we're joint owners of DAMMIT RECORDS, but he's not here, so I don't know if he's having trouble logging in.
Okay, no problem. He can meet us when he wants, so no problem with that. So please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
So my name's John. I'm from DAMMIT RECORDS, from the UK. Okay. And we're a small independent DIY record label. Sí. And we're sort of very DIY. We don't do it for any money or anything. We're just volunteers. We've both got full-time jobs, so we just do it in our spare time. And goal is, aha, here comes Nick. There
Hello.
he is.
Hiya.
Nick, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear us well?
Yep.
It's okay, Nick, the audio?
The audio, are you listening me good, Nick? Hello, Nick.
Hello. Hi. I
okay.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to start with some personal questions, and then we are going to start talking about the record label. Sean has just introduced us. And Sean, and how old are you?
Sorry,
it's very distorted.
But can you hear us well now or not?
I can. I think it was because it was very quick and I couldn't pick all the words up.
Oh, okay. No problem with that. My English is not perfect. Sorry for that.
My Portuguese is shite, so don't worry. Perfect.
See, and Sean, how old are you?
how old am I?
Sí.
Sí.
You don't ask a lady that question.
No.
Yo qué sé,
I'm
Raúl.
47. I don't have problem with that.
Okay, I'm I'm 61.
61. Great.
Yeah.
So, and you, Nick, how old are you?
I'm 62.
62. Perfect. And you are from UK too.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. And can you tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
Go on, John, you first.
To be honest, I used to love John Peel on the radio, and I used to have my little cassette tape player, and I used to push record and play and try and record all my favourite tracks from them. So yeah, John Peel did it for me, and then I went trying to get out to see some live bands locally. Yeah.
Perfect. And for you, Nick?
Music first was given to me by my older brother and sister. They had what was called a Danset radio record player, and if you remember, we used to sort of stack 6 or 7 records on at one go. So I had all the old rock and roll records from the time, Elvis Presley and Cliff Richard and whatever, all the things from the early 60s. And then, like John, as I sort of got my own musical taste, it was definitely John Peel. You know, that was where we used to go to every night to listen to the music that we liked.
See, it was an eminence. It was incredible. The Sean Peel sessions, they were incredible. Yeah, I know them. See, and can you tell us where you went to school when you were young? Which kind of people do you meet? They were all musicians, punks, or they were just normal people?
No, they're all tossers. There was probably only about 2 people in my whole school that liked punk. The rest of them were all idiots.
It's funny because in my case, I had a group of friends. We kind of got together through the music, and we used to end up in each other's bedrooms, not in the way you might be thinking, but just to play records, muck about. We used to just pretend or wish we was in a band. And we used to, I think there's 4 of us, and I think we called ourselves Unit 4, like very original. Yeah. But we used to, I bought a guitar, which was a rubbish guitar, and then somebody else wanted to be the drummer, and somebody else wanted to be, I mean, we didn't really make any music at all, but it was fun. That's what we did, and we're talking of the age of 13, 14. So yeah, that's what did it for me.
I mean, similar to John, the 2 people that I was talking about were in my class at school, and when we were 17, we formed a band. Much like John, we were standing watching a very boring football game one evening, and we sort of said, "Oh, shall we form a band?" Because there's nothing else to do. Andy, the guitarist, already could play guitar, so he said, "Well, I'll do the guitar." And me being the one that didn't want to spend any money, said, "I'll play bass." So I could buy a bass guitar. That left Mike to buy a drum kit. So that was it. That's how my first band started.
Excellent. And the detail, I don't want to spend any money. I'm a bass player. Perfect. ¿Te das cuenta?
That's my That's my philosophy of life. There you go. You know exactly what I mean.
Exactly.
We don't spend any money at all.
We make the same question to people all around the world.
Para,
because-
preguntale por favor si alguna vez cambió las cuerdas de un bajo.
No, bueno, Manu is making fun of me because he's a guitar player. Have you ever changed the chords, the
strings?
The strings of the bass or not?
No, never. Only when they break.
I love the bass player. I love that. I'm very envy.
Yeah,
that
well,
kind of-
there's no need. They last forever.
Exactly. We make this kind of questions because we are musicians and we are more or less the same in every part of the world. You know, we are different. Beautiful. And can you tell us, are there any places to study music for free in UK, or you always have to pay?
What was the first question? To play it or
no, to learn, to study music.
To learn. Oh, okay. So I would say probably 90%, if not more, of punk bands. We just picked up the guitar and learnt it by ourselves. I mean, these days you've got YouTube, and that might help some bands. But in my day, I just picked up an old book full of chords and just learnt them.
I think with our age, John, as well, if we met anybody that had lessons in how to play music, they were from a very posh family, and we didn't want to know them.
No, exactly, yeah. Oh, yeah, they are very expensive to learn, yeah.
Muy bueno.
Claro.
Sí, I like that kind of jokes. I'm acid too. We are from Argentina. We are really acid people. Sí. Can you tell us which was the first concert that you went, the first show?
Go on, John.
So for me, it was the Photos, which was kind of like a punky female-fronted band at the time, bit like Blondie but more raunchy. They were my first band I went to see.
Wow.
Where I lived in the UK was very much rhythm and blues area. And do you know of a band called Dr. Feelgood?
Dr. Feelgood, see?
Yeah, they were the first band because they were local to me, so they were playing at a local pub. So I was 13 at the time, and my sister, who was older, her and her boyfriend at the time, said, "We're going to see Dr. Feelgood and you're coming." I even had to get out of bed because I was in bed ready to go, ready for the school the next morning. So they said, "No, you're coming with us." So that was my first proper gig, if you like.
Excellent. And can you explain to us what is punk for you?
Oh.
How long have we got?
Say that as you like. Say.
Oh, mate. John?
So, for me, at this present moment in time, punk is doing what you feel is right yourself, not following any rules, creating music that you like, and if anybody else likes it, then happy days. In the earlier days, punk was kind of the Sex Pistols, that sort of thing, and anything I liked, really. I'm not too snobby about it. I quite like tracks that are what would be classed as non-punk, but for me, that's what I like.
It's always been an attitude rather than the way you dress and way you look. You could be, as we are now, wearing t-shirts or whatever, doesn't matter. It's the attitude, and it was all about rebellion and sort of not accepting things as they were or as they are, and always trying to make something positive out of your situation.
Perfect. And you have any special message for people around the world of punk? Exactly. And,
send us your record, send us your track.
No, because I was going to ask you, what do you think about Did It Yourself? Can you explain that?
Can we explain? Sorry, say again.
Did It Yourself, DIY.
Yes, very much, yeah. I mean, when we started the label 4 years ago, we were both playing in a band, and we'd recorded an album, and we hadn't really found anywhere to actually put the album out. So I said to John one day, shall we form our own label? Partly as a joke, but also partly...
I think we were drunk. We were drunk as well.
We were drunk, yeah. And it was the case because John's got the technical ability. He's brilliant at what he does. Because my side of it over the years was collecting people's email addresses and just hassling people to get gigs. So we said, well, we've got the experience and the expertise to make a label and make a go of it. And here we are 4 years later.
I didn't have much confidence to start off with. I didn't think, like, how is this going to ever work? But we mainly did it for the band that we was in.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, straight away, we was inundated with other bands, and we didn't really have the time to do our band that we wanted it to do. No. So from that day on, it was a success. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, success is an open word, isn't it? So what we find as success, perhaps some people find as not really being what they envisage. But certainly, as John said, we put our album out, and then we said, let's see who else is out there. From that point, the floodgates open. We just had so many people get in contact.
Perfect.
And not just local people, from around the world.
Because I think that people from around the world, younger people, I'm over 40, but wants to know if UK keeps with the spirit of punk music, because I think that punk have a history now, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You don't speak about reggae music. I think that it's have something in the lyrics maybe or connected with reggae music. You think that? And you think that the independent record labels are part of the history of punk?
Certainly the DIY thing was the punk ethos. In the UK, it is still there, but in a very small minority. Seeing, certainly when I lived abroad for a little while and seeing how they operate, you would argue that was much more punk than what it ever was in the UK. But it was very insular, it was very localised, so the punks in Alicante were not really associating with punks in Barcelona and so on. But it's very much we've met through the label some guys from Brazil, and it seems to be massive in Brazil, and it seems to be massive in other countries, but it's not so much in the UK anymore.
Okay. Sí. And what do you think?
Translate eso. Translate.
No, lo que estaba. Manu wants to. I am going to make a little translation for the Spanish listeners. Porque it's really interesting what you are saying. Manu, todo lo que estaba contando, que yo le pregunté porque en la historia del punk siempre estuvo acompañado de record labels independientes. De sellos independientes, y le decía si ellos afirman eso, ¿no? Y sé que sí, que había como una base, o sea, aparte de los grupos de los sellos independientes, porque eran muy locales. Eran sellos muy locales que se empezaban a conectar, que es lo que yo te contaba. Hay mucha conexión con gente de otras partes, entonces a través de cartas o de la famosa homebox, viste que se mandaban discos y todas esas cosas, y armaban una red. Y lo que estaba diciendo, que en este momento en el Reino Unido no es tan grande esa red como por ejemplo en otros países como Brasil.
¿La red o el punk?
No, las dos cosas, pero más que nada la red que se armaban antes entre los sellos discográficos, entre las bandas. Tiene que ver mucho porque venía después la pregunta, Manu, del individualismo en el punk, o sea, y el no future. Vamos. Sí, por eso venía conectado a eso, que el punk siempre fue una cosa de unión, de comunidad, que es lo que yo te decía. I'm talking with Manu that the real punk scene, it was like a community. No? Sí, the origin is like a community against things that are oppressive, and we think that now with the individuality and that kind of things are not going that way, that direction. Maybe like bands like Green Day and that kind of things, that they were small. The Epitaph Records was a small record label, and then went really massive. And the spirit maybe is it's getting loose, that kind of things. Are you agree with that or not?
Certainly, I mean, you mentioned Epitaph Records, and I've said this to John in the past, that they were, I wouldn't say our model that we wanted to base ourselves on, but they were certainly somebody that I always thought potentially we could emulate some way along the line. You know, that we've started small, we stick to what we believe in, we have standards that we set, but we also want it to be that we find bands that we really want to work with, excuse me, and want to work with us, and we work the best that we can for everybody. And I mean, we're not in it for the money, never have been. But what we also find is the bands that we work with kind of have the same. They buy into it, but they get a benefit from it because we can help them from our experience and our knowledge.
Sí, sí, sí. Muy bueno, ahí está Manu lo que te decía de la comunidad, que ellos dicen que ellos de alguna manera tratan de emular lo que hizo Epitaph. Epitaph también es el sello de Green Day, de Rancid, de Offspring. Tratan de emular eso, trataron de emularlo, pero bueno, ellos aparte, fue lo primero que dijo John, que ellos tienen su trabajo aparte y puntualmente como aparte tienen su trabajo, no lo hacen por el dinero. Aunque
nosotros, Raúl.
Sí. We have the same way to do things in this radio, you know. The Careta Radio is more or less the same. Sí, we don't make it for the money. Sí, pero también dice que las bandas tienen algún profit, algún beneficio, y aparte que ellos tratan de ayudarlo, viste, con su propia experiencia. Sí. Manu, si te parece, le hago la pregunta de qué fue lo que cambió en los 80 y los 90. What do you think? We are over 40, no? What do you think that changed in the 80s, in the 90s, and nowadays? The conflict, the main conflict of the band, the punks, in the lyrics, you know, that kind of things.
John?
Difficult one. I mean, Nick's the one who's got the main knowledge of bands, historic bands. But I don't think anything's changed that much. So, which is a little bit of a shame. Like, the old 80s and 90s punk lyrics and sound, everyone associates that with punk, so some of the tracks we get in kind of simulate that or emulate that, should I say. It's like, I don't know, if they stick to the same schedule, then it can get a little bit boring. I don't know, that's just my view. I think the sound of it and the ethos of it all can change a lot along with the times, so it can still be fresh. And we get a lot of tracks in, and I just love it when it's fresh stuff, fresh material, you know. I'm not a lyric person, so I don't tend to listen to lyrics much. I prefer the sound of the music.
The melody. See, I have the same problem. Manu is a lyric person. I'm not. It's happened exactly the same.
I thought you were more a lyric person, John. Oh, God.
No.
4 years later, I find this out about you. Yeah, I mean, the styles changed, certainly. I mean, if you look back at the styles from the 70s, and then you obviously had the 80s, which was more rock or more pop punk, or, you know, so that it has to change, otherwise it would stay stagnant and it would stay boring. So no, it has to change. But what I've seen recently, and we had one only last month, is although they were older people, if you like, the sort of our sort of age that created the song, the lyrical content was exactly the same as what we were singing about back in the 70s and the 80s. And if that is a reflection on today's society, that's a very sad reflection that we've not moved on as a society. But then what would you complain about? What would you write songs about? Because punk is not necessarily about love songs, is it? It's a song. It's a musical about protest. So who do we protest about? And unfortunately, it doesn't really move on.
Ahí está. Sí, Manu, que es un poco de lo que estábamos hablando. Mi manera es muy parecida. Yo vengo con un background punk, evidentemente, por lo que digo, y que siempre I'm always trying to we fight a lot with Manu because he knows things that I don't know. Sí, and I always say that society stopped it's like we are fighting about the same things from the last century, or maybe that kind of things. Sí, I completely agree with that. Sí. Y lo que estaban diciendo que es triste que un montón de letras de los grupos que ahora reciben ellos que dicen exactamente lo mismo que ellos decían en los 70, y que para ellos es triste, o sea que, y significa que la sociedad, viste, no se movió mucho desde esa época, y para ellos es triste. ¿Tenés alguna...?
Sí, how the monthly damnation, that the compilation you release every month or can short time of time begins, that idea, and how you choose the bands and the songs.
We listen to them. We listen to them, so we like that.
Yeah, cool.
Quite often it's the 10 people that have actually sent us the songs.
Okay.
So we don't always have the choice.
Okay.
So it's but we do and John might want to change this, but we do often get more than the 10 songs, and it's just done through democratic vote whether we like them or not.
Yeah, it's we do get more than the 10 on most months. Some months we do struggle, but even if that's the case, we are fussy as to what we put out. So we ask for good studio tracks, so the quality's got to be there, because we can't put out rubbish. And you know, some of the sound, some of the genre of the music is not in the right camp, you know, like that. We get sent electronica stuff, and it's like, no, you know, we can't put that out.
Or there's somebody just standing there with a tin can going bang bang, you know.
So yeah, but generally speaking, it's weird because it generally works out well for us, doesn't it? Generally we get the right amount, and we sometimes have to refer the tracks to the next month. We've got less work to do to get the tracks in for the following month, but yeah, it gets there, and it just seems to work like clockwork, doesn't it? It's
so far we've although it's been, the deadlines have been tight sometimes, we've never really struggled, have we, you know, per se. We've never had the floods, but we've never come that short, so it works, you know.
But sometimes it is our fault because we reject a few, and we think, oh damn, because we're now short.
Yeah. The only thing we do stipulate, and it's one of the criterias, we ask for a set of lyrics, so we can read them and make sure that there's no homophobia or xenophobia or racist or bigoted remarks. So, you know, that's our main criteria, although we don't sort of necessarily shout about that. We always insist on the set of lyrics, otherwise it don't go out.
We have rejected bands for it, haven't we?
Yeah. I was going to say, because when we first started, we had band, we listened to the music, and it's like, these tracks are great, and then we saw the lyrics and it's like, can't do this. Yeah, so.
Reciben de todo, Manu, reciben de todo, deben recibir de todo, muy bueno, sí. ¿Alguna otra pregunta, Manu? Tengo un par más. Estamos bien. Bueno, can you tell us what things inspires you to keep on with the record label?
Don't know.
Hope.
We're
two very sad, lonely individuals that have got nothing else to do.
No, I'll be honest. I think for me, this has opened up a whole section of music that we never ever would have heard before.
No.
So, and it's a great feeling to be able to share that to the world. But some of the best music I like today has been through what we've been given.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is that. I mean, it's great. It has been great being in bands, but this has a completely different level of satisfaction when you get tracks sent through and you think, fuck me, I could have never written this. This is brilliant, you know. So this to me is so higher as far as satisfaction is concerned.
Exactly. We have the same spirit. When we met a new band or a new song, it's like, wow, listen to this, and we send to Manu and we fight about that. Excellent. Tenemos el mismo espíritu, Manu, de cuando llega algo nuevo, viste, que acaban de decir exactamente lo mismo que...
I have...
Sí.
Perdón.
Sí, no. Va bien.
I have a weird question. It's my last question, but I want to know, what do you think of the Rolling Stone?
I think they were brilliant, much better than the Beatles. Unfortunately, like everybody, they get old and lose their importance. But when they were younger and in their heyday, no, fantastic.
Ahí está, sí. Manu is a big fan of the Rolling Stones. You know,
a very big fan, and I don't know what the punks say about the Rolling Stones.
But there was lots of cover versions by bands from Rolling Stones songs, weren't there? The Damned and the Modettes and so on. So, no, they're a big influence on British rock and British music. So, you know, big influence. And they were cool.
In Argentina, in my country, at the 19, the punk and the Stones, you know, the people who love the Rolling Stone, fight in the street. He can mix.
I mean, at the time when John and I were kids, if we'd have said we like Rolling Stones, that was a bad thing. But I think as we've got older, it's now acceptable.
Okay.
Sí. Manu is a big fan of the Rolling Stones, and it was really in the 90s. People, the Ramones and the Rolling Stone people fight, but a lot. You know, in the nightclubs and that kind of things. It was a cute fight. Sí, increíble.
I mean, you just mentioned the Ramones. I mean, the Ramones were always on the radar in the UK. But it's only, again, going back to when I lived abroad, I didn't realise how big the Ramones are in Latin America and in Spain. They were massive. But you come back to the UK and say the Ramones, and the only people that know the Ramones are the people that buy the T-shirts in fashion shops, but don't know who they were. You know, it's...
That is what we like about talking with people from all around the world, because that kind of differences, you know, it's like, hey, why the Ramones are not big? No, they are not big in different places, you know. In Argentina they are huge, really huge.
And play in a stadium. They play in a stadium, in big stadiums. Then check Ramones in River Plate stadiums for 60,000 people. They play. Incredible. Sí.
Huge.
Muy bueno, Manu, muy bueno. Sí, we have 3 more questions. What do you think about music-related companies like Spotify investing in weapons? Sí, I have to make that question. Sí. What do you think about that?
Go on, John.
So we're not a fan of any streamer media. We have used Spotify and others are on the market, and we do a record management as well. A band management as well, and we use that platform because the bands want that. They want to get exposure. But personally, and Nick's probably the same, I hate them. The bands get nothing, no money, nothing. We're used like pawns, and I'd like to see it all disappear.
Perfect. I hope that. Sí. And they are investing, you know, in military industry.
Oh, sorry. On that, I don't know. No, I didn't know that. So
no, perfect. Sí. We are against that. We love peace. You know, we can protest, but no wars. Perfect.
If I'd known that, it would have been even worse, and I wouldn't have had anything to do with them at all. But no. Didn't know that.
I can't see any positive reactions for you, Spotify, because it's all part of the bigger conglomerate of. And when we were young, if we wanted to put out a record, and we used to go to record labels and say, "Listen to my new song, listen to this, listen to that." You can't do that anymore because it's owned by EMI and all the big companies. So. And to me, Spotify are exactly the same as that. It's a closed market, and they come to you because you fit a particular style or a particular look, or you agree a certain thing, and you won't say anything bad about anybody. So Spotify can go fuck themselves.
I completely agree with that. Perfect. Sí. I completely agree. Muy bueno. Sí. Can you tell us something about the actual music scene in UK or in your local place?
Go on, Nick.
What music scene?
Whatever you like to. Excellent.
Well, it is okay. So venues in the UK are struggling. They're closing down. People don't go out to concerts anymore. In fact, in our last podcast, we sort of did talk about the reasons behind it. Young people, certainly for the music that we put out, it's not a music that is actually on the radio stations anymore. So people don't know this sort of music. So the only thing they get to see is what's channeled to them on Spotify, on TikTok, or whatever. And the only time they get to hear and see any other different sorts of music, if it happens to be in a film soundtrack or on Stranger Things or something, and then it opens up a different world to them. But local venues, few and far between. There is one close to us that we've used for putting on showcases, but apart from that, they're very, very few and far between.
It's more and more difficult now. But we do run a few showcases for the bands that we put out, and it's getting more and more difficult to even get an enthusiasm from the venue owners to get involved. You know, it's very difficult. Very difficult. Nobody's interested.
We are talking with really young people, and they say what you say, Nick, that we listen to music on films, no, and in video games.
Yes,
it's incredible. It's incredible. Well, it's okay, but it's a different way to listen to music. That it's not old school.
I mean, Kate Bush. She had another hit, didn't she? Because it was in Stranger Things, you know.
Yes.
And there's people walking around at the high streets in England wearing Fleetwood Mac T-shirts. It's like, well, you're 12. How do you know these? Because it's a fashion thing. We're told to listen to it, or we're told to wear this, or it's been in the TV program. There's nothing organic. Like we used to have pirate radio stations not too far off the coast, and we used to like Radio Luxembourg, Radio Caroline, people like that, and that's where you get your music education. There's nothing like that now unless you happen to stumble across it.
Exactly. The music education is not now from one person to another. It's like from Netflix or from Disney to people. Exactly. Perfect what you're saying. See, and the example of Kate Bush, I completely agree with that. It's strange. So,
do you ever produce any record, any album from any band?
Products. Yeah. How many would you like?
See, no, you have to show them to us. Please send.
Yes.
And we'll make a special with that. Really.
We've got about 20 albums, I think.
Yeah. So
these.
we got 20 CDs that we actually produce it. We master them, master all the tracks, put it together, market it, and we put it on CD, download and CD. We do all that. We do it for other bands. We've done it for ourselves, our band, and we've actually also recorded it as well. Recorded and mixed the band locally, and that's on a CD. So that's gone out. So we kind of like cover all areas really. Yeah.
We're trying to be musical megalomaniacs, but we're on a very small scale.
Yeah,
and even in the composing songs, everything.
Well, for albums that we put out from our own bands.
Yeah.
So a band called Snide, Cato Street Conspiracy, and then we did our own covers band called The Cribs. So we've done a few. We've done that, but also bands that have come to us, we put out and we help out as well.
I love the Rabbit Hole cover of The Resignator. I love that draw.
Oh, okay.
What was
The Resignators.
Oh, yeah. Australian band. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're really.
I love that.
We are looking and listening everything. Sí. Si te parece, Manu, cerramos con la última pregunta.
Sí.
It was great to meet you, to finally meet you, and we keep in touch, of course, and we are going to send you the interview when the live show ends. And just to finish the interview, can you tell us something about the DAMMIT Records future plans?
Oh, Well,
It's a secret.
first of all, thank you very much for having us aboard and talking to us. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Future plans. We don't really have any kind of future plans as such, except keep doing what we're doing. We love what we're doing.
We love what we're doing, but we've got one album due out, which is being put back a little bit in it from one of the bands, because they're still recording it. But yeah, sorry, John, I interrupted. So Karen.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Damnations will carry on. It's getting a little bit stronger and stronger. We do put out a podcast, and that's getting stronger and stronger with more views, more listens, which is brilliant. And yeah, we've got an album coming out soon. As soon as we get hold of it and we can master it and put it out. We're always busy. So I don't know, because Nick's the one who comes up with the ideas, and I go no. And to be honest, like it's a full-time thing in my part-time life. Does that make sense? Like I finish work and then it's on to this. So I'm hoping he's got no mad ideas, but you never know.
Good. So to concur what John said, it is a full-time job, apart from doing their full-time job. But so no, this year we've only got the one album planned, but that looks like it might be going into next year. However, so we are always open to people if they've got something that they want to throw our way for us to have a listen at. We won't say no, but you know. Something we need to consider. No, podcast is, as John said, it's going from strength to strength. Damnations, that will just continue. That as we've said already, we don't make any money for that. We do that for love, and that helps get the bands out there, and it helps gets them into a bigger world market. So that's quite essential as far as we're concerned. Gigs probably next year now. I don't think next year. We always say we won't do any more, and then a few more.
¿Hicieron algo de un podcast?
Sí.
¿O nada que ver?
This is the last one. Sí, tienen un podcast, Manu, tienen un podcast también con el sello.
Suena en Careta Radio.
Sí, maybe if you like, you can send to us the podcast and we play it in our radio too. As you like. Really, yeah? Sí, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we do one every month, but it's only songs that are featured on Damn It, whether it's on Damnations or on CD or whatever. So it's all about the tracks that, pretty much like what you do for us. Perfect. Although I have to say, I've never actually heard one of your shows. So.
Yeah. This is why, Manu. This is why we met today, because that email was incredible. That's why. 2 years before, please send to us. Manu, no, buenísimo, porque después nos apoya, entonces dice, pero che, ¿es en serio? Sí, es en serio, y le mandamos el link, todo fue increíble. That email was incredible, I love that. Sí. Thanks, it was great to meet you. Thanks for your support.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No, thanks to you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm going to UK, or Manu are going to, and we take some beers in a few
days.
Guinness.
Definitely.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
Bye, my friend.
Bye.
Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.
Bye.